Ah man, we back at it again. Back at it again. Boom, boom. Back at it again. Y'all darn gone DNC darn going candidate done really put his foot in his mouth, y'all. Let's go ahead and talk about it. See, we getting straight to the point today. We ain't about to do no long introductions, no side conversation. We gonna get right on into it, right at the 30-second mark. So here we go. So Joe Biden, if it wasn't as bad as it was with his darn on alleged dementia, him now on my YouTube pages that I frequent, he can't even get a rehearse. I'm like, damn, I can understand a live debate, but bitch, it's like when you darn gonna pay for advertisement, you had time to prepare. You can have a teleprompter in front of you, and you still can't even darn gonna speak right. Why am I seeing you on YouTube? Hey y'all, I need y'all to vote for me. I said, oh God. You better be glad that there ain't no debates going on between you and darn gone Donald Trump. Honey, Donald Trump will right the damn flow with you. Verbally, honey. And it's a shame that somebody who has the intellect of a fourth grader, I feel, is more confident in a debate with somebody who's supposed to have over 50 years of darn gone political experience. Like, let it make sense. And then y'all saying that he supposed to be more qualified than Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton? Really? And this motherfucker can't even darn gonna get out a simple word in a pre-darn gonna tape YouTube darn gonna ad? But that's not even why I'm really pissed off. So, after darn gonna grilling Donald Trump for months and months and months, and we've been looking at the questions on the debate stage about what are you going to do for reparations for black people, for black American descendants of slaves. Not no West Indians, not no Africans that came here after 1960, but for darn gone black Americans who has a lineage who darn gone stands here all the way from 1960 to pre-1960. What are you going to do for us? And he tiptoed around it, but has promised for everybody else. All of them raised their hands for reparations for Hispanics who are detained at the border. And now he has finally spoken on reparations. Clear. He has finally spoken on reparations, and he is mentioning Native Americans. And I seen a recent one, and I wish I would have. Once again, I'm so delayed on videos, y'all. I'm so backed up. I ain't even had time to look at this video in advance. But let me go to Keke Palmer real quick because he did an interview with Keke Palmer, and I'm going to do an update to that one, and it's 15 minutes long. Oh, wait a minute. I don't see it. Where is it? Oh, there it go. So it's 15 minutes and 42 seconds long. I got to see that she asked the pertinent questions. But up until this point, honey, Charlemagne the God, or Charlene the Goddess, whichever one you want to call, they, them, and theirs, honey. Because darn gone, Charlemagne / Charlene gives me gender non-conformities. But anyways, who has been non-conforming in a bad way is darn gone Biden when it comes to these black issues. Once again, Charlene the Goddess has asked you the question. Roland Martin has thrown it out there halfway. I don't know why. Is Roland Martin darn gone black? The more he gets to speaking, it makes me question whether he really black American or not. But at least he still has black issues at heart, so I give him that. But I have not heard him mention anything solid. Now we get a halfway acknowledgement of him talking about he's going to do for black folks. Outside of, in addition to the schools, which I don't know why he keeps talking about these HBCUs as if darn on black people aren't educated. Hell, there has been inventions towards darn on treating the coronavirus and rapid darn on numbers by African. They done came out with a 3D printer that done gonna treat the coronavirus, and they on a drastic decline over in Africa. Then a black female scientist has supposedly came up with a treatment here. Hell, with most things we take for advantage, even the darn going live streaming capabilities was invented by a black person. So please don't darn gonna keep throwing darn on education at us as if we darn gonna uneducated and that's gonna be the end all be all, when America and everything that we use on a daily basis 9 times out of 10 was invented by a black person. Even down to the light bulbs that I'm using, the incandescent bulbs are actually darn on the modernized version created by Lydemis Lattimore, I think his name is. Thomas Jefferson's protege. I mean, not Thomas Jefferson. Darn. Y'all know who I'm trying to say. I can't even. Why am I got a mind blank? Y'all know who I'm trying to say, but damn. I can't believe I don't forgot who was the inventor of the light bulb, the original concept, y'all. I can't think right now, but y'all know who I mean, y'all. Is it Thomas Edison or? See, that shit gonna throw me off. Let me Google search this shit real quick. Thomas Edison.
According to Wikipedia, Thomas Alva Edison was an American inventor and businessman who has been described as America's greatest inventor.
Why I feel like that's not who I want to think of, though. Was it Thomas Edison? Okay, it might have been Thomas Edison then. Yeah, it is Thomas Edison. I don't know why his picture looks different. But yeah, it was Lydemis Lattimore that came up with the more modernized version. Even down to the light bulbs in the darn on traffic lights. Black man. I mean, the remote control, a black person. I want to say that was a black woman that did the remote control, and the list goes on and on. So I don't know why we keep throwing darn on HBCUs as if that's going to be the end all be all, when hell our shit was stolen from us even when we graduated back then and darn on came out with inventions, and our shit is still stolen right now. Hell, our music, our darn on, hell, even our darn on features. They talk the shit about the features on our own selves, and then you put it on a white bitch and it makes them $1 billion empire, i.e. the Kardashians. Our hair is good to walk down the darn on East St. Laurent darn on runway, baby. East St. Laurent can darn on wear our cultural African darn on ensembles and darn on just darn on do it all up on the darn on Paris runway. But we wear our natural stuff, honey, we darn on discriminated to get. So it's not the education. And I don't know why darn on Joe Biden don't get that through his head. But then again, considering up until 2 seconds ago, he was darn on pro-segregation and still defends the 1994 crime bill, we can see why. Why? We can see why. But I digress. But moving on. We get to reparations, and this mug mentions Native Americans. Now y'all know I'm all for Native Americans getting darn on additional reparations. I thought darn on Native Americans were screwed, and I might be partially biased for natives. Y'all know 1/5 of my family is Native, so I don't have no problems with my Native American folks, including mine, getting additional benefits or whatever. But as far as blackness is concerned, I don't think it should be co-opted, because they didn't darn gonna ask to put black folks when they was thinking about Jew reparations. And hell, there was actually black Jews who didn't get their reparations. So when you should have co-opted darn gone black folks into some darn gone compensation, you didn't even do it then. When you compensated the darn gone descendants of darn gone well, actually that's still pending. They trying to darn gonna still give compensation to the descendant of Chinese railroad workers who just came here underpaid and worked on the railroads and got their citizenship or whatever. And now they trying to sue all these years later on behalf of their descendants because they were underpaid. But they ain't even mention about the black workers that were not even considered human. They were considered itemized hands. Shout out to JV Dessalines for coming up with that story. Well, not coming up with it, but showcasing that story first on the YouTube channel. I got to cite my sources where I get my info from. So once again, shout out JV Dessalines for that one. And if your video is still up, I'll put it down in the description box below. Y'all go check out JV Dessalines channel on those good videos right there. She's been off for a minute, y'all. She's coming back with some dating. If y'all want some, dating advice and stuff, y'all also go over there and she gives you all the good tidbits of the people who not to fuck with and all of that. She's also an excellent businesswoman, but let's not get too off topic. But once again, I had to give out a quick shout out real quick to my girl JV. But back to the subject at hand though. Yeah. I'm still wondering, like, you didn't give darn on black folks who also worked on the railroads consideration in that bill. When y'all was trying to get darn on reparations for the Chinese folks. The Jews who were black didn't get their darn on part of reparations when it came to the darn on Holocaust. Then when y'all mentioned the Hispanics, this gonna blow y'all minds, but there are some, Afro-Latinas, honey, that speak darn on Espanol that looks just like me, kinky hair and everything. Now, I wonder when it comes to these darn on reparations, if they were to be given, honey, is the ones that's gonna look about like my complexion going to get in it? Or is it going to be the ones that look yellow and skin tone and lighter? Because once again, Mexico is just the nationality. Honduras is the nationality. Hispanic is the culture. The Latino is the culture. Spanish is the language. So once again, you got plenty of black folks that speak Spanish that come from Mexico. Hell, Lupita Nyong'o is from darn on Mexico. She's a darn on black darn on will she be considered Afro-Latina though? I don't know, because once again, she wasn't brought up under the culture per se. She was just in the area. I don't think she even speaks Spanish. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong on that though. But once again, that shows that nationality wise though, she's still Mexican. Now, ethnic wise, she's a full-blooded African. Both her parents are African, and they just happen to have her in Mexico. But once again, y'all considering darn on reparations for Hispanics, then black folks, we can't even get a darn on discussion of a study of it off the ground. I don't even know why we need a study. But, we need a focus group on the amount. We need to get consistent on that. So, but a study on if it should be paid, now that's just an atrocity within itself. Like that you literally talking about you need a study to see if we need to be paid. Bitch, are you serious? Now you could talk about a study of the amount that is owed, because hell, we as black folks keep darn on differentiating on the cost. Honey, we went from darn on 6 trillion to 10 trillion to some of y'all talking about 17 trillion. Now I'm hearing some of y'all go up to 20 trillion. It's like, come on now. Some of us, we do need to get consistent on the darn on what's going to be the payments. And once again, that's why I'm sticking with my reparations plan. $6 trillion, $5 trillion for economic restitution towards black banks, towards our own black darn on schools, our black neighborhoods, grant programs, and once again, that will go towards black beauticians, black farmers, black real estate agents, and have our own economic, infrastructure built up. Because once again, if you just give her cash, it's going to go right back into the other neighborhoods, and we get back stuck. It doesn't circulate. It just goes right out. But if we build up our own institutions, If we build up our own schools, not the HBCUs that were handed to us, because there's some white folks that darn on hell owns the majority of the darn on HBCUs, and then this come to find out the Rockefellers was the ones that started out with the HBCUs. So the HBCUs was not necessarily the most favorable for us. So we need to have our own authentic black schools. And that includes our K through 12s as well. We are always talking about HBCUs, but honey, most of your education comes before college. Your mindset and how you operate in life is really K through 12. How you going to deal with when you believe that you have some folks, you have cousins like mine that don't even know what reparations is. Don't know what reparations is, honey. Hell, you have some college students that I see at the schoolhouse at the university that I work at, don't know what reparations is. Once again, you got to get the mindset in the children through K through 12. So fuck the darn on just talking about funding HBCUs. Honey, the darn on mindset's fucked up by the time they make it to college. You need to get their ass when they in kindergarten all the way through the 12th grade, honey. So, and we can't allow to think that the public school system is going to do right by us, because they ain't done it this time. They still have English, Spanish, and French as and Mandarin as your go-to languages. But you can't darn gonna find not one African language up in the school system. You can't find not one African language up in the darn gone school system. Once again, we need our own. We need our own to teach our own. So that's why I say we should have our own economic infrastructure set up. We should not think about just the money. Now, as far as the money, I propose an additional $1 trillion to be dispersed amongst, people who descend from darn going chattel slavery, and additional benefits towards, descendants of Pacific atrocities that has happened throughout history. If you can link yourself to a Pacific atrocity of a descendant of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I think it's only one that's alive that's left, I believe. But for the ones who can trace their lineage to stuff like that, they deserve additional compensation as well. Y'all did it for the darn gone Holocaust, and y'all did it twice. Darn gone Obama got up in there in 2013 and signed off on darn gone additional benefits, but didn't even consider us. You get asked about darn gone reparations for black folks, you want to darn gone throw a bitch fit, and darn gone want to talk about cut the cameras and shit. But darn gone Jews ask for additional reparations after they done got paid the first time. Is A-okay? Now to my native folks, once again, I'm not darn gone mad at y'all for wanting additional ones, because hell, the white folks came up in there and done took most of it back through eminent domain. We done seen how they done did the Sioux tribe down in darn gone North Dakota. We done seen how they done other various tribes. So I understand with the $5 Indians and with eminent domain and all that bullshit that y'all have been subject to. Oh, and then the hills with the is that the? I think the the Navajo tribe, or also the Sioux that has that supposed to have control of the Black Hills, but they're still fighting over the Black Hills for the government. So it's like, I do believe that additional reparations should be looked at. And the reason why I was for Marion Williamson is because she knew how to differentiate both of them out. Elizabeth Warren, the same thing. She proposed additional reparations for Native Americans. Now we couldn't get her ass to talk about darn on black issues enough, but she was within the facility of going in the right direction. Marion Williamson was right on the money. But Joe Biden, no ma'am, Pam. Please tell me, why is he talking about that we need to group it all in one umbrella? Now, our atrocities are very similar, but that's not to be confused with being congruent. Once again, Native Americans have went through quite an atrocity, quite the ordeal, and even still go through some bullshit to this day. But let's not say it's congruent because there are some distinctive differences. Because you do have Native Americans, for all intents and purposes, who can pass for Asian or, white. And also, ain't nobody gunning down Native Americans like that. Native Americans have some form of privacy to a certain extent with having their own lands and lottos and grant programs and, housing programs and stuff. It's not to the full extent, but they already have some of that. So I'm trying to, but we as black folks, we ain't never got any of it. So I'm trying to figure out why is when it's our turn to discuss what we need, we now have to be co-opted under somebody. We got to be co-opted under the Hispanics, which I think is the ultimate disrespect. It's like, bitch, we were here first. We were here first. That went through the bullshit. Your ass intentionally came here after after America was built on the backs of blacks. Honey, the darn economic infrastructure of America was built off of cotton. And cotton darn made more money than every other darn infrastructure in America combined. It made more money than steel. It made more money than motherfucking fishing. It made more money than, I think they said, textile and anything that white folks was doing. They said cotton made America more money and made it where it was built up today. Even the darn construction of the White House was built off of mostly back blacks and slaves. And all the inventions and stuff. Even darn blood donation. Y'all bitching and complaining about y'all not getting enough blood donations and shit. But guess what? If it wasn't for the darn black man coming up with the creation for that, y'all wouldn't even have that. If y'all wouldn't even had the darn thought process of the of blood donation from us, y'all wouldn't even have that. And then y'all want to insult us. But that's a whole nother video. I seen something recently talking about darn black folks are the ones that they said some sort of off the wall shit about black folks might be the reason for the coronavirus and bathed in hair. I said, oh no, let's not go there, bitch. Let's not go there. And I'm sorry to any of my white allies and stuff on here. Because I know my white friends and family, the third of my family that's white, honey, I know they practicing hygiene. So this doesn't apply to y'all. My friends who are white, I know they darn bathe daily. And they don't go through that bullshit of not washing your legs and shit that's recommended by some of y'all dermatologists. Shout out to Dr. Dre on YouTube. Yeah, while y'all looking at darn Dr. Dre and her talking about not washing your legs and shit. But y'all want to say that we could possibly darn spread the shit. But when you go through our history, you go all the way back to darn 5000 BC. And you have hieroglyphics darn showcasing that we were known to bathe and darn we took our shit to the next level. Not only did we bathe regularly, but honey, we were darn bathing in darn milk baths and shit. Honey, we came up with the concept of lactic acid in chemical pills before y'all even knew about it, honey. How it increases cell turnover in the skin. How it induces also collagen synthesis, and which we already have an abundance of naturally as black people. But we induced it even more and preserved our youth. We soaked with rose petals. And the essential oils from the rose petals also help, add some luminosity to our skin, add some glow, and also protect our skin from free radicals. We got all those antioxidant benefits and stuff. And once again, the lactic acid from the darn milk. But it didn't stop there. We also came out with our own sugaring concept. We were sugaring all the way back millenniums ago, not centuries, but millenniums. We did body waxing and everything. So there wasn't even no hair for dirt to even stick on us too tough. We were bathing daily in milk baths. We were darn waxing. Our eyes were arched. our faces were painted. Meanwhile, once again, I hate to go there, but the truth is the truth. Y'all was over there in the dark ages for a damn a whole millennium. Not even those centuries, but I think they said y'all was over there in the darkness for a whole 1,000 years. Didn't have plumbing system or anything. Y'all was walking around with fecal matter all over the place because you didn't even have a stable a sewer system. So you were just shitting and laying where you lay, honey. You shit where you lay. Even a dog knows not to shit where they lay. A cat is actually will cover up their shit. Now a dog, they leave their shit out, but I ain't never known no dog either to even shit where they lay. Well, y'all didn't have no choice. Y'all was over there shitting where you laying. And still justifying to this day. And no matter how much money you make, honey, I love my Lady Gaga. I do, honey. I need to go get that new album after I listened to it a little bit on YouTube, honey. I got to also purchase Chloe and Holly as well. But, and shout out to Beyonce and Jay-Z. Today is the anniversary of Everything is Love. And I think this quote is very befitting. Pharaoh, I won't let you shoot the nose off my Pharaoh, yeah. Honey, everything comes back full circle, honey. Everything comes back full circle. But to get back on this topic about these the Stone Age. See, y'all thought I got sidetracked. No, I haven't. And we're going to bring this back to Joe Biden in a moment. But I actually had to give some actual education in this video because just mentioning Joe Biden is depressing. So y'all know I had to give some tidbits and stuff because I can't focus on Joe Biden. So we're going to get back to him eventually. But yeah, as far as this we might have caused the corona. But we know for a fact the corona was from China. And damn sure wasn't the black folks in China that came up with the caused the shit. Although they trying to say it is. And now they trying to ban black folks out of China. But my thing is, how are you going to ban the indigenous ones? I want somebody to tell me, has anybody checked on the indigenous Fon people? Because there are some that still are alive. The Fon people are the Africans of which Asian people descend from. I want somebody to go into the deep netherlands of China and check on the Fon people and make sure they are alright. Because they look just like us. Even down to the 4B, 4C hair, the wide nose, and everything. The lips and they don't show them, honey. They always show the ones that look like Jackie Chan and shit. Bruce Lee. But they don't show the ones that look like Obama, honey. Except more black. So, somebody go check on the fine people. But I know my Africans who were down there in Africa, honey, they y'all getting thrown out your houses. Y'all getting whipped across the street with sticks and shit. And it's like, which y'all have is over there eating bats and all these animals. Y'all just finally banned in 2020 eating dogs. But y'all saying, we came up with our habits made the corona happen. Now, yeah, I know some of y'all gonna say, now, why? Some of us Creoles and shit be eating raccoons and possums, and North Carolina, some of us have eaten a little squirrel and deer and all that. Okay, but we actually cook our shit first. So we ain't about to compare. And y'all know I don't even get down with the oxtails, ham hocks, pig feet, neck bones, and chitlins and shit, and the raccoons. I'm one North Kakalaki, baby. I'm one Carolinian that don't get down with that shit. I'm a seafood bitch. I just had me some shrimp last night, honey. And even with shrimp, honey, y'all know we devein the shrimp and stuff. See, some of y'all don't even know what that is. Where you supposed to hit that knife across that spine and get that little black line out. See, and some of y'all don't even know what that is. But y'all want to say we possibly came out with the corona. Girl, bye. Sit the fuck down. Y'all wanted to say us washing our chicken in the sink might have caused the spread of diseases. But then what is y'all recommending now that black folks been doing all this time. Using bleach in your darn on water. Honey, black folks been doing that. Matter of fact, black folks been darn on bleaching they darn on sink before they put the chicken down there. So it's technically the chicken sterilized. I mean, the area sterilized, so it ain't no cross-contamination. You washing your hands and stuff and not, touching raw meat and going to vegetables and stuff. We have common sense to know if you dealing with chicken, you ain't also dealing with no vegetables at the same time. See, we as black folks, we know that. But y'all want to say we could have caused the spread of corona. Our bathing habits could have caused the spread of corona. But some of y'all, even when y'all become dermatologists, y'all recommending to people not to wash your legs and all this bullshit. Y'all over there in it took the 2020 for y'all to know not to eat dogs anymore. Y'all over there eating bats and shit raw. But we darn gone could have caused the corona. Girl, bye. And back to Joe Biden. I told y'all we were going to get back to that darn on sorry motherfucker eventually. But Joe Biden, with all this that's going on, with police brutality, with them trying to darn gonna blame us for everything, honey. They trying to blame us for the corona. They trying to blame us for poor hygiene habits, even though history tells us, and even your own selves tells us, honey. When we have people who are worth over $100 million talking about they can't remember the last time they bathed. Even as a joke, I don't see where the joke is. It's like, I'll be damned if I'm going to joke. And matter of fact, let me Google search how much Lady Gaga is worth. Let me Google. I know that bitch is worth at least $100 million. What is Lady Gaga's net worth?
According to Fox Business, with money from her album sales, successful tours, song play royalties and endorsements, Lady Gaga's net worth is an estimated $275 million.
Okay, so bitch, you worth $275 million, and you talking about you can't remember the last time you took a bath. Now, at first, I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt and maybe say, well, maybe she was saying it like me, because I can say the same thing as far as I say they took her words out of context. I can't remember the last time I took a bath because I take showers. Like, if they would have said that, I say, okay, I can understand that. Because it's like, it's been years since I took a bath. I don't believe in soaking in the dirt. It's like I can take a relaxing, and once I get into my own place, I start doing those again where I soak in the bath bomb. But it's like I need to cleanse my skin first. I like to take showers. I don't like doing baths and, soaking in the dirt. It's like, I take the shower, and if I want to pamper myself, and I would take a relaxing bath with the bath bomb and stuff. But that's going to be to rejuvenate the body, not to cleanse the body. I cleanse the body with the shower, not the bath. So I thought she was on that. I thought she was talking about, okay, I don't take baths because I take showers. But honey, no, it comes to find out Lady Gaga was talking about she can't remember the last time she darn gone and used the washcloth for anything. Like when she started going there, I was like, okay, maybe she uses her hands and stuff. A lot of people get in the shower and they use their hands, or you got the sonic brush or whatever, or you using your scrubs. I told you I got a whole video that you don't necessarily need to use a washcloth depending on the situation. But no, she talking about she can't remember the last time she darn gone bathed at all. And then you got Ellen DeGeneres. So let me Google search how much this bitch is worth. Net worth of Ellen DeGeneres.
According to Business Insider, Ellen DeGeneres has an estimated net worth of $330 million.
So, you worth $330 million. You up in a darn on mansion that is no less than $15 million. It's safe to say you got darn on 10 darn on bathrooms at the minimum up in your darn on mansion. And you talking about you wearing the exact same shit that you haven't touched your laundry. Like, it's like, once again, if they would have just cut out half the shit, I could, we could darn on say, okay, she wearing the same clothes because, she's a minimalist. She's trying to not, be washing clothes every day like that. A huge load of laundry. So she's just sticking to one item. So I can understand that. Cause honey, sometimes I do that. Sometimes y'all catch, the same item of clothing on moi, honey. But the thing is, Diva Wan's washing machine ain't broken, baby. I at the end of the day, I can toss this in the darn washing machine, and it's gonna be clean. And a bitch makes darn currently less than $3,000 a month. Now I'm trying to figure out why a bitch who's worth $330 million is finding problems having clean clothes. Even if you changing out clothes every day, it's like, bitch, you can afford a nanny to clean your shit. Your house is so big that you can actually still have the nanny up in there and still practice social distancing. So it's not even no excuse about why you ain't even having nobody do your shit. Cause your house is probably every bit about 15,000 square feet, ho. So it's like, honey, the nanny could be on a whole different side of the motherfucking ring, bitch. So I'm trying to figure out why is you joking that you in the exact same clothes. And you worth $330 million. But we black folks are the ones that are unhygienic, though. And Joe Biden's ass is just tone deaf to all these doggone hypocrisies that are put upon us. Don't want to mention reparations. And then after you finally done gotten it through your head that, okay, black folks are serious now. It's enough of us that said that we ain't going to the polls for your ass unless you darn gonna say something. And even then, I'm not even taking you seriously. And this shows, because for you to mention that Native Americans and black folks need to be grouped together was the ultimate disrespect. Like I said, shout out to my Native sisters and brothers. But honey, we need to be separate. Yeah, our shit being separate, let's keep it that way. Because once again, our situations are similar, not congruent. Now, I don't believe in, going overboard and creating fully false narratives and, talking about how, certain native tribes own slaves. Damn, thunderstorm sounded like a knock on the door, honey. But I'm not going to go into that false narrative because, once again, we definitely know that natives did not just freely own slaves out of the maliciousness of their hearts. We do know that they were put under duress of circumstances. A lot of them were killed off for defying it. And then when we talk about the Cherokee tribe specifically, once again, Cherokee tribes still be on their bullshit. Trust me, I know firsthand. Especially with, the recent bullshit they did with black folks kicking darn on black folks out the darn on tribes and stuff. The Cherokee Freedmen's. So I understand that, that they ain't perfect by no means. But once again, we can't darn on completely fabricate herstory, honey. And say that they were just fully complicit. We can't, just omit the fact that, okay, Cherokees also were known as savages at one period of time. And it's very ironic. I keep saying this. You're going to deem somebody a savage for darn going reaching a breaking point and darn going rebelling against a group of people who done came to their land. You done came on to their land. You done darn going raped and pillaged and darn going spread diseases and killed off over 90% of the motherfucking tribe. And then when they finally darn gonna rebel against that ass and said, well, hell, you already done nearly wiped us to genocide. We definitely don't have nothing to lose. And they darn gonna started darn going fighting back, which is never mentioned. You notice in these race conversations, and especially with so-called educated black folks, they don't never mention about the Cherokee Rebellion. They don't never mention about how Cherokees was getting up on white folks' ass. How they was darn gonna hanging certain white folks in trees. And they was giving black people darn on safe passage through their woodways to go up to Canada. How certain natives, especially Cherokees, were helping out Hedman Tubman. How they didn't darn on shoot us down when we was in Cherokee darn on wood territory. But if you was white, honey, you was even a darn on strung up, you was raped and everything else. And they was not even They ain't even let the children slide, honey. They'll kill off the children too. Old men will be hung up. No, actually, they'll let they did the darn on old folks darn on real terrible, honey. They let the old folks starve to death. It's like you just feel when you die. At least with the young folks, you got killed off quickly, honey. children included. They ain't even want to even be a chance that the white children to grow up and darn gonna rebel, honey. They'll kill off darn gone white children as well, unless it was theirs that they done had via raping the darn gone white woman, honey. Because they was now that's where they started getting whitewashed out as well, and we got a lot of these light skinned ones, honey. It wasn't just these $5 Indians that were paying $5 and becoming native. It was also a lot of these natives, honey, that was practicing in revenge rape and stuff. You diluted your own darn gone genetics. But once again, I do recognize the tribes that also aided black people through the Underground Railroads and stuff like that. That allowed safe passage to, Indian territory. So once again, you got to showcase the full history, honey. Our stories are very similar. Our stories overlap. And to a certain extent, there are some congruencies, but our stories are not fully congruent. There are two separate stories that happen to overlap somewhat. But once again, when it comes to talking about economic restitution, you need to do like Marion Williamson. You need to do like Elizabeth Warren and keep them separate. Once again, you can highlight the similarities. You can highlight how they overlap together. But does that mean that you need to include Native Americans in our darn gone reparations package? Hell to the motherfucker no. Because I don't believe they darn gone included us. Who is trying to call me? Hold on, y'all. Well, hell, y'all, I guess it's been long overdue. Now that I think about it, I have been on a roll lately with having videos where I haven't had a knock at the door. Because y'all know back in the day I was known for saying usually it'd be a telephone ring, my cell phone, virtual call, or a knock at the door. So it's been a minute, honey. I guess they said since we in phase 2 going into phase 3, we're going to get back into the program or darn gonna interrupt me doing my videos, honey. But yeah, like I was saying with natives, even though our stories as native people and as black people, and some of us are in that, weird situation of partially being both, because you have a lot of black people in the South, such as myself, who can link themselves to immediate native, and I ain't talking about like the Hebrew Israelites. I ain't talking about that bullshit. I'm talking about actually being connected to an actual Native American tribe. You can actually pull up dolls rolls. You can pull up DNA results of family members. Y'all seen my family members who are 20-some% native, 50-some% native, 30-some% native. Those are the ones that I'm talking about. Not the ones who claim that they are the true people. That's a whole nother conversation, honey. But yeah, our stories are similar. They overlap somewhat. But it's not to be confused with being 100% congruent to the point where you need to address both of us in one bill. Black folks are tired of being co-opted. That's another reason why you losing us. Cause first you want to you got it doesn't help on the progressive side. Here you got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Once again, y'all, I don't speak Spanish, so excuse me if I fucked up the name. I tried to phonetically get everybody's name correct. I think I'm the only one that actually says Kamala correctly. And that's a shame. And it's like, as a southern bitch, y'all would think I would really fuck up her name. But I actually get her name. I'm the only one that I notice gets her name phonetically correct. Because I know how it is when somebody fucks up my name. Especially since my name is very ethnically ambiguous. My name is Lawan. So just off of that. And then let's not even get into the last name, honey. The last name got some Jewish origin. Lawan can be Spanish. Lawan can be indigenous. Lawan can be doggone Latin. Lawan can sound black. So once again, I understand the confusions in how to pronounce it. Some people want to say, and then some people want to add extra letters to it because of, my gender identity. Some people want to say Lawanda, Lawana, Luann, Lauren. It's like, girl, it is Lawan. So I understand Kamala when people darn gonna want to call her everything like Kamula, Kamala, Kamala. I used to think it was Kamala because it's like, bitch, you from the West Indies. So I used to say it as if the Jamaicans would do it. But turns out it's Kamala. Kamala. I thought it was I thought it was, Kamala, honey. Everybody else mostly says Kamala, but it's actually Kamala. So I try my best to get everybody's name. But to my Hispanic folks, if I do got some of y'all tell me how to phonetically say Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. If I'm saying it correctly, honey, give me a thumbs up in the give me a thumbs up emoji in the comments. But yeah, like I said, our situations are similar, overlap to a certain extent, but it should not be addressed all under one bill. It's like, come on now. We're tired of being co-opted. We're tired of darn on every time you dress black folks, you want to talk about black and brown people. And that encompasses everybody. But when you talk about their groups, you know how to differentiate. You know how to stick to strictly darn on Hispanics. You know how to stick to strictly Native Americans. You know how to stick to strictly Asian people. But when it comes to us, it's always, we got to be co-opted. And that's where black people are sick and tired of. And you ain't going to get my vote if you keep on this co-opting shit. Or on, if you do any of these two things, you is not getting my vote. If you because the progressives aren't no better. Because what they do is they try to co-opt everything. And be on this black and brown. But it's black folks that's really getting the most atrocities done to us to this day. Because if you're a white Hispanic, if you ain't speaking darn on with a Spanish dialect, honey, for all intents and purposes, you can pass on by. For y'all Hispanics that are born here in America that don't even know how to speak Spanish, that don't even have your dialect, honey, you can darn on pass all for intents and purposes as white. Now, for the ones who are Afro-Latina, or the ones who look mestizo, honey, those the ones I feel for. Because, honey, the darn on ones that look like a Marla Negra, honey, she's going to basically get mistaken for us as black folks. And as somebody who looks like, Evelyn Lozada, honey, she's still going to get that smoke because she looks close enough to a light-skinned black woman. Then you got the ones who look a little bit more racially ambiguous, honey, you can tell that they're not white. So they're going to get some pushback to a certain extent. But once again, our atrocities are different and they all need to be addressed as such. But yeah, so that's why I'm not with the progressives on wanting to group all of us together. And then Biden trying to tiptoe around not doing anything and think we're going to get in there because he's supposed to be so-called better than darn on Trump when history shows that he's actually worse. He's worse. To the point where it's like y'all keep saying all these things that y'all afraid of with darn on Donald Trump, as if darn on Biden didn't serve under the president who to this day deported more darn on Hispanic immigrants than darn on Trump done to this day. Now the irony that you got somebody who's intentionally trying to target Hispanics and has still darn on deported less immigrants than the darn on candidate that's supposed to be a minority that's supposed to be for all the people, honey. Now catch that T. Now y'all don't never say nothing about darn Obama is the chosen one. Some of y'all want to go back to Obama. But Obama has done stuff that's actually been darn on worse. He's done stuff that's been worse. As far as the Hispanic community is concerned. Black folks, honey, like I told you, he done got mad at the thought of darn on discussion reparations with him. Got up and left. Hell, at least darn on Donald Trump act like he wanted to do a 10. Now, we know he was on some bullshit with that 10-point plan. Now, some of y'all motherfuckers thought he was serious, and I don't know what the fuck, what type of darn on cheap-ass gas you smoking over there in your house or whatever, where you thought darn on Donald Trump was serious about the 10-point motherfucking plan. Y'all about as silly as the motherfucking darn on black coons that he got up there darn on being his token black folks, honey. To the point where he darn on has to point out in the audience, that's my token African American. Well, he didn't say the token part, but he might as well said it. It's sad that you got so few black folks up in your crowds that you can point them out by hand. But once again, to darn on Joe Biden, who just because you think you can Ace Boone Coons with all the darn on NAACP folks and the Congressional Black Caucus and those the only names that you seem to know, but you still don't somehow find a way to darn on mention the issues regarding black folks. And then, like I said, you was under a half black president for 8 years and we still didn't get nothing. Y'all still didn't do anything. Closest thing I can say that y'all attempted was darn on Obamacare, and hell, that raised a lot of our darn on rates and shit up. Good idea, but poor execution. And then y'all wanted to penalize us with a $2,000 penalty for not having insurance. But who usually don't have insurance is because a lot of us are subject to pre-existing conditions due to our environments and the way it was structured against us. So black folks darn gonna suffer the worst under the $2,000 penalty that darn on Obama had. I think darn on Trump reversed it because Trump got up in there and was doing his due diligence to try to reverse every single thing, honey. The only thing that he didn't darn gonna he was taking credit for was them food stamp restrictions. And the gag is, while we want to complain about Donald Trump on the food stamp restrictions, honey, that shit was actually under Obama first, and darn gone Donald Trump just picked it up and pretended that it was his. And since he's a Republican, it just naturally goes hand in hand that we thought that the shit was his, but actually darn gone that was the one thing that he kept of Obama's. So it's like the shitty things that actually worked against us as black people, honey, darn gone Trump kept that. But the stuff that somewhat was aiming to do right, such as LGBT equality, honey, he trying to roll all that shit back. But darn gone, do I feel confident that darn gone Biden would be any better? No. I'm willing to darn gone weather the darn gone storm for 4 more years. Unless we do this right here. We get a whole nother candidate up for the darn on and I'm gonna go ahead and throw her in again. I know y'all sick of me darn on saying this, but hell, during the times that we're in, I don't know why we can't just go third party and darn on and once again, she don't even want to do it, but I'm gonna keep darn on mentioning it until she darn on feels the need to go up in there. The word of census called me. Oh Lord, I got to get up off here real quick to see. Darn on census done call me, y'all. I done did my darn on census, honey. I made sure my darn on the population was counted up in here. I done got darn on everybody else shit completed as well around here. Let me find out what they talking about. But anyways, yeah, it's like I done lost my train of thought, y'all. What was I saying? See, I'm now acting like I done talked about this motherfucker so long, I'm starting to have a brain fog just like this motherfucker, honey. But I'm not. Oh, Marion Williamson. I was talking about her. Honey, I'm going to keep mentioning that the dream team is Marion Williamson. And darn gone, because in the wake of these darn gone arguing about when the next stimulus check is coming out, and y'all are worried about it driving up the deficit. But you had one presidential candidate that had a way to pay out black folks, white folks, natives, Hispanic, everybody American that was qualified $1,000 every single month and had a way to pay it off. You talking about how black folks is going to darn gonna bounce back from this? We hit the hardest. Honey, you had the one candidate that darn gonna mention reparations from the very beginning. Oh, well, one of them. I will say Tom Steyer came in later and mentioned, reparations as well. But Marion Williamson really was the one that kicked it off with a definite number. Now, she needed to have her number a little bit higher. And I got to actually call out Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell. So y'all look out for a part 2. Cause honey, Antonio Moore done got himself caught up in a whole motherfucking contradiction. He done got his ass caught up in a whole motherfucking contradiction. Now I done seen his recent video, and I told y'all that darn on Antonio Moore was on some halfway bullshit. Especially when we had to do a 2-hour video dissecting that darn on they thoughts on reparations. And the shit darn on turned out to be about 90% of darn on Bernie's platform. It's like they call themselves wanting to call out Bernie, but hell, the little lightweight shit that y'all was proposing was already what Bernie was proposing. But now y'all done got y'allselves caught up in a whole nother contradiction. Y'all stay tuned for that video. But to end this on out here, Marion Williamson, if you don't darn gonna run as a third party with Andrew Yang on the ticket or vice versa, whether I do believe whoever, in whichever order, you can either have a Yang Williamson ticket or a Williamson Yang ticket. But I want both of them on the ticket. I want both of them on the ticket. And then it's like, go ahead and get darn on Elizabeth Warren over there as darn on Secretary of. Yeah, I want Elizabeth Warren as Secretary of State. And then I know both of them love Bernie Sanders. I can't stand that darn on motherfucker, but I know they want Bernie. So we can darn on put Bernie up in there somewhere. I don't want Bernie as the VP though. Now both of them want talking about if they was to become the nominee, they would want somebody with political experience as the VP. No. Once again, we need a whole new shakeup, honey. That's what a public advisors and shit is for. I know y'all don't know anything about politics and stuff too heavy, but honey, that's what the public advisors and shit for. Y'all put darn on Bernie Sanders in one of the cabinet positions, or maybe he could head over the Senate. You know, who takes over the? No, well, technically, darn on vice president is the head person of the Senate, but the speaker of. How the hell can we get rid of that Mitch McConnell? Maybe y'all can work out a way where Bernie become the new Speaker of the Senate, or we can put him in a viable position, but not that vice president. I want my Yang and my Williamson on the ticket together. Y'all can put and I know Bernie, you can't have Secretary of State. Now y'all can say Bernie is a lot more progressive than Elizabeth Warren on a lot of things, but honey, Elizabeth Warren is where it was at when it came to dealing with them holding them banks accountable. So I want her as the Secretary of State. She's a little bit more skillful as far as dealing with the financial affairs. I want her as the Secretary of State. Now we can put Bernie in one of the other 15 cabinet positions. Maybe head of urban housing development, where Ben Carson is at, honey. But I don't want, I damn sure don't want him as the VP. But I know both of them will want to work with Bernie, so okay, we can put Bernie up in there. And if he don't get the head of urban housing and development, we can put Cory Booker in that spot. Now, Kamala, what you doing lately is admirable and all that, but I still don't even want to put you nowhere in the damn cabinet, girl. You still darn gonna put a bad taste in my mouth trying to act like you a soul sister, honey. Soul sister, ooh da da da, woo da shake qua. No, honey, I don't want Kamala's ass nowhere in the damn cabinet. So I'm gonna go with Tulsi Gabbard. Y'all put her up in there. Tulsi, Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, reluctantly Bernie Sanders, and then the vice president and president is Andrew Yang and Marion Williamson. I think that's enough of a shakeup that will get the darn going ball rolling, honey. In addition to being strategic about who you vote locally, honey, that will be the shape that we need. Not darn on settling for Joe Biden. But if we had to if it was one way for Joe Biden to get me to vote for his ass, and for me to think that he was serious on addressing black issues, it's not choosing a black candidate, because we done already said that all skin folk ain't kinfolk, especially the ones who are, emphasizing they 25% like Kamala, baby. So I would be more inclined to vote for darn on Joe Biden. If you was to put Rachel, I'm just going to say, hell, if he was to go and find Rachel Dolezal, honey, darn that lightning cutting up out there. But if he was to go find Rachel Dolezal, honey, and put her as the VP, honey, that would darn gonna make me vote before he darn gonna consider Kamala. But on a serious note, if he was to put Marion Williamson as the VP, not necessarily Andrew. I like you, I do, but I think you would fold a little bit too tough. I think you would darn on pipe down a little bit on your stance on issues if you was chosen as the VP. I don't want you as the VP under Biden. But I think Marion Williamson is the one that would do it. Marion Williamson, especially with her being a spiritual motivator speaker, and she has a tendency to rub off on people and change them. I would love for her to be the VP. I wouldn't consider nobody else. Maybe Elizabeth Warren. Maybe. If you get either Elizabeth, which I don't think you're going to do Elizabeth, but if you get Marion, that would be the one. Marion or Elizabeth Warren would be the only two choices. Anybody else, I don't give a damn. I know he said I don't give a fuck about Stacey Abrams. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Stacey Abrams, Keisha Lance Bottoms, honey, I don't give a fuck if he goes and talks to Bernie Sanders and gets darn. Oh, sorry, y'all. Y'all know these fans, y'all gets to me. But I don't give a damn if he gets darn on the number from Bernie Sanders to get Senator Nina Turner's phone number. I'm still not going for it. The only ones where I would move for darn on Biden is if he has Elizabeth Warren or darn on preferably Marion Williamson. So those are my thoughts, y'all. Like I said, that co-opting darn on black reparations with natives was a bunch of bullshit. Not to say that natives reparations are bullshit, but co-opting us together is bullshit. Yes, even though our history somewhat overlaps, we have been through similar atrocities and we have gone through it together, despite what some black people on here want to say and some white people, because I know the full history, honey. Not darn on alternate history from darn on black groups that only focuses on, selective darn on parts of history. Same thing for the white ones that just wanted to race all our history together, honey. And to hear them tell it, they done came out with everything. They done came out with all the inventions. Black folks are naturally dumb and all this. And that's why I don't fuck with darn on Bernie. Because Bernie was also alluding to the fact that, stereotypically black folks aren't educated and all this bullshit. But y'all still want to give it up to Bernie because he marched with Martin Luther King when he was a child. It's like, bitch, what have you done as an adult? It's like, every time y'all keep bringing up darn on, well, he marched with he marched with Martin since 1962. But it's like, bitch, what have you done since you actually got in a position of power? The only time that you can say you actually done something radical for black people is during a time when you actually did not have any political power. And then as soon as you got darn on taste of power, you can't darn on point to one darn on bill that you actually did that actually was progressive in favor of black folks. But you was the candidate that's always told it as you marched with Martin Luther King. But reparations, which Martin Luther King was speaking about in his last days, and when he was talking about economic restitution and a guaranteed income, you want to throw black people at your rallies. That's why I don't fuck with Bernie. But once again, I understand that both Marion and darn on Yang want him in that cabinet. So, okay, go ahead and put him in the cabinet. I just don't want him as no president nor vice president. But go ahead and put the motherfucker in the cabinet. He got some other good ideas and stuff. But as far as black folks, I ain't fucking with Bernie. But that damn Biden, oh no, he's even worse. Like I said, if you want me to believe that Biden has any redeemable quality, do I believe there's a slither of redemption there? I do. I do believe that there's a 2% redemption factor there. But if you want me to believe that 2% will be darn on overwhelmingly seen in his presidency, the only way I can say that there will be hope is, once again, Marion Williamson, preferably. Now that's where I would darn go vote and get 100 more people lined up. I would be on the campaign trail for your ass and everything if you come out tomorrow and say Marion is the darn gonna pick. Elizabeth Warren, okay, I still gather some folks, but I ain't gonna be as enthusiastic, honey. I go ahead and darn gonna vote. I won't be looking at that darn gonna ballot and darn gonna putting in Winnie the Pooh for president. But preferably, I would want Andrew Yang and Marion Williamson to darn to get team up. That would be the perfect situation. The settling situation that I would be inclined to go for is if you choose Marion as the VP. That's the only way that I'm putting darn on him on that ticket. If y'all want any chance of him getting the North Carolina vote, and for him to get this state to turn blue, we a swing state, honey. We're a swing state. You need us. If you want to guarantee the blue vote over here, if you want to guarantee the blue vote, honey, Marion Williamson is where it's at, baby. I'm telling you now. If you want North Carolina, you better put Marion Williamson on the thing. Hell, if you want a good chance of flipping South Carolina, and South Carolina's way more red, honey, you might can do it with Marion, because Marion Williamson don't just speak on reparations, honey. Marion Williamson also calls out darn on corruption within the within the Food and Drug Administration and all of that. So she's very well rounded. So she can get a hold of the liberal, the feminists, and the animal rights activist groups, and all of those groups, honey. If you want your best chance of winning, honey, you better put Marion on the darn on ticket. Because I know I'm not voting for you if you don't. Unless it's darn on Elizabeth Warren. And ain't no other two darn on females that you can tell me. Hell, you can even darn on bring up Hillary Clinton. And Hillary, I like you, I do. But even if he was to put you as the VP, I'm not even voting for his ass if he puts you as the VP. I'm sorry, Hillary, but I'm not even doing it if he even gets you. I'm the only two women I'm entertaining. Once again, don't go try to get Senator Nina Turner, Keisha Lance Bottoms, Stacey Abrams, or Kamala Harris, and think, just because they the most well-known black figures that we just gonna go for the darn gone imagery, honey. Like I said, honey, you do better darn gone plucking Sunny Hostin off the View, and darn gone having the first Afro-Latina female vice president, baby. You be better off darn gone plucking Angela Rye out, honey. And I still wouldn't want them to do it. Now, but would they be a better choice than some of them people that I just named, especially Kamala? Yes. In my preferable opinion. Just based off of the reasons of authenticity, that they will actually be more inclined to be more favorable towards black people, and not just say it as a token darn gone point and then keep the darn gone carrot dangling above us for 4 more years. We are just a tad bit better than darn gone the Republic. I'm sick of that shit. Like I said, I'm ready for the whole foundation to shake. I'm ready for the whole foundation to shake. Get me Andrew Yang and Marion Williamson, but I will settle for darn gone Biden and darn gone Williamson. Give me Yang and Williamson, I would be enthused. But I will settle for darn gone Biden and Williamson, because I believe Marion Williamson has enough of that darn gone spirituality in her where she can darn gone work on Biden. She can work on Biden. That's the only way I do it. But y'all tell me y'all thoughts down below. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. I hope this darn gone thundering ain't darn gone interrupting with my mic, but y'all leave y'all thoughts down below, and I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.